Hello, welcome to the Hale Middle School Open House. My name is Kayla Zerwinski and I am the Director of Orchestras here at Hale Middle School. If you are here, it means your child is either in one of my Orchestra 1 classes, my Orchestra 2 class, or my Orchestra 3 class. Today I'm just going to be giving you a glimpse of what we do here in orchestra. So first off, I wanted to show you guys my room and my setup for the year. We're still social distancing and making sure that our kids are staying safe. Um, for each of the instruments, we are disinfecting them as well before we play them in class. And up along the back side of my classroom, I have my basses and my cellos. I have 9 basses and 18 cellos. To the left of my room, I have my violin and viola storage. I have about 24 violas right now and 56 violins. So again, most of our kids are sharing instruments since my program has 140 kids this year. So just to be on the safe side, we are disinfecting before we play in class. So some of the supplies I've been asking for you guys to bring in with your kids. For my Orchestra 1 classes, I've asked them to bring in a 3-ring binder to hold their music once we start getting actual sheet music. I've asked for a paper folder for handouts, worksheets, or other assignments that are not sheet music. And third, I've asked for a pencil and not pen, just because whenever we are writing in music, if something needs to be changed, it's easier to just erase the pencil than scribble out the pen. For my Orchestra 2 and 3 kids, I've only asked for a paper folder for handouts and assignments, as well as a pencil, just because I give them more professional looking folders when they're in Orchestra 2 and 3. For class expectations, I expect my kids to come to class prepared and ready to participate. So a good portion of their grade is participation. I don't usually give homework, so just having them come to class, having all of their materials, like number 1 says, which is their instrument, their music, and their pencil. And then number 2, just actively participating and playing when it's their turn to play in class. And they understand this. I've told them this all the time. It's part of our daily routine, but it's nice for you guys to know as parents as well. For homework and class assignments, no homework is given in orchestra unless I have them practice something. If they really need to practice and they're not practicing and preparing during class, that's the only time I would ask them to take their instrument home and practice at home. But the majority of their grade is based on classroom participation. So as long as they're actively trying in class, they have their instruments, they're reading their music, everything is fine. Students are graded on other things as well throughout the school year. Number 1, they are graded on pass-offs. That's when they just play in front of their classmates in class. The older they get in orchestra, so for example, my Orchestra 3 kids, they do pass-offs on their own. For my Orchestra 1 and Orchestra 2 kids, for now, they are doing it in groups of 2 to 3. So they're still performing alone, but they're performing with their friends. Um, for number 2, I also give bell work. Bell work is given at the beginning of class as a review of any material that we've learned throughout the week or in previous weeks. Bell work is not consistently given out, it's just when I feel like giving it or whenever there is something new that's been given in class. So it's whenever I'm hitting them with a lot of new material, that's when I usually try to amp up the bell work to make sure we're still retaining everything. For number 3, quizzes and tests. This is pretty rare. For written tests, I only give them when I'm, again, trying to review material and making sure that everything is understood and sticking. For quizzes, they could be anything from a written, very quick quiz to, do you know what note this is? Can you play this note? So those are just examples for quizzes and tests. And number 4, our last class assignment that we have every year is a concert attendance. So that means that they need to come to each concert that they have. This year, it's looking like each orchestra is going to have at least one concert. My Orchestra 2 and 3 kids may have more than one concert. We're still trying to figure it out. But each student will perform in at least one concert during the school year. Dates are still being organized for the springtime. As soon as I have official dates from our administration, I will send them home in a letter with your students so that you guys know when those concerts will be. right? For my late work policy, I give each student the same amount of days they were absent from my class to make up any missing assignments. In orchestra, the majority of what we do is play our instruments in class. If I know your child is not ready to make up a pass off, like what I talked about previously, I will give them time during class to practice and make up the playing test. So they don't have to come home and do homework and practice at home. They will have plenty of time to practice in class to make up whatever they missed playing wise. How do I know what assignments are missing? All missing pass-offs and worksheets will be posted up on my bulletin board in my classroom. So I'm in the process of getting it up on my wall. Once it's up and running, your child will be able to walk over to the part of the board that says missing assignments, and if it's a written piece of paper or a worksheet, they have to do is find their name and they can take the worksheet off of the bulletin board. Or if it's a pass off, I've written it either on a sticky note or on a handout for your child to take off the board so they know what to practice in class. Missing assignments can also be found on Focus. So I've been updating grades throughout the first quarter so far. If I am missing something from your student, whether it's a written assignment, something for participation, bell work, or if it's a pass off, I've written notes in the missing assignment saying I need to collect this from this person when they get back. So that's another place that you can look and see what your child is missing from me. For my contact information, it is listed right here. If you need to reach out at any point to get in touch with me, my email is zerwinskik@manateeschools.net. You can also reach me or leave a voicemail if I don't get a chance to answer at 941-714-7240, extension number 22063. Additionally, some of the information that has already been given out throughout the entire year so far, all of my orchestra forms can be found on Schoology. Your child received an orchestra syllabus with the majority of this information on it at the beginning of the year. They also received a participation agreement letter that was green, and they also received an instrument rental letter that was white. So if you need to look over any of the information listed below, it's all posted in Schoology as well in this folder. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'm very excited to have your student here in orchestra this year.